That boy who used to spend days in the garage with only his imagination and a couple hand tools has gotten lost in the grind of the real world. I think it's time we find him.
$100, 130, or even 165. I ain't paying it. I'm not saying it's not worth $165. It may very well be. It's artesian, it's bright, it has a load of doodads, and those little extras on it, nailing the whimsical look and feel to perfection that they were striving for. But I won't pay it. I can't pay it. I have a problem. It's something deep inside of me. I see it, and I have to build it. My mind reeling with the possibilities. Oh, wow, I love that. I can rip slats or use lath. I would curl her this way, making the sides a little asymmetrical, one bigger than the other, and. If that sounds like you, then you're in the right spot. Slide down, hit the subscribe, and let's get it started. We'll light some things on fire, burn some wood in more than one way, and add some curves, making it the way we want, but also maybe the way Mother Nature intended it. It's 30 degrees here, spring is in the air, and soon the birds will be chirping looking for a new home. And we're going to give it to them. So grab your child, your grandchild, a friend, or even a parent, because this is one of those builds that will bring back memories of your youth, from Indian guides, brownies, or 4-H, and create some new ones along the way. Now, cedar is a great all-natural choice, but I'm going pine here because, as everyone knows, pine is fine, and, well, I got a lot of it, especially in 2x4s. I have one concern with this build, really, so I'm just going to start right there. My shingles are going to be slats, and we'll cut them from 2x4 scraps, but I want to try to put them on an angle or a bevel. I just don't know how much. I start with 5 degrees, and that's way too little. But keep those, because you never know, we might need them. Then I jump to 10 degrees, and it's too much. There's no meat left on the bone. Feeling a little bit like Goldilocks here, I just go for the middle, 7.5, and I think it's perfect. Angle found, it's just a matter of ripping the angle on each side. Switch to 0 degrees, slide the fence over, and rip both sides again. Rinse and repeat. I cut up 3 of the 2x4 chunks, roughly 16 inches, so we'll have plenty of them to mess around with. If you look closely here, you can see what we're going for. An overhang so the rain slides right off the shingles, and each bevel we did makes it fit tighter to the house, but still gives those little triangle air holes so that it doesn't get too hot and stale inside. Now we move on to the front and back. I'm thinking 6.5 or 7-inch wide. You can do this any way you want. A 1x8 would work. I'm just going to use leftover slats from when I made crates. Nothing more than split in half 2x4s ripped right at the table saw. I cut them with scar 4 at 12 inches. Then quickly guesstimate what would become the bottom and cut that to size. Then on a whim, I decide to add a third 12-inch piece, ripping the round over off. My brain is thinking that I don't want the glue seam right down the middle of the front where we're going to put that hole. That offsetting it might be great, but I just don't want to commit to the offset yet. I might still change my mind. And then it's glue up. Tight Bond 3, it's waterproof. Slide it around a bit, then clamp it down. All dry, we move into the shape of the house. For a design, I want a higher peak and a lopsided curve look to it, so that one side is heavier than the other. This will give the whimsical cottagecore look we're going for. You can go crazy here. This is where having more people can make all the difference. This is your world to create. I take my free jigsaw from, 30 years ago. You can tell it's old. It has a plug. It goes into the wall. Not as old as my Betamax, though. Then we trace it, cut it again, and sand it down. I use 120 grit here, enough to smooth the curves out. I use 120 grit here, enough to smooth the curves out and remove some of those pesky glue marks that I should have wiped up long before they dried. Although, to be fair, I'm pretty sure they just froze. The main concern for a birdhouse, aesthetically speaking, is the hole. We're just going for small chickadees here, so 1 1/8 inches. If you want easy, just drill the hole. I'm going a little deeper here with the design, some extra credit that honestly I might regret trying. I'm going to first cut out a 2-inch circle. Then cut a sliver off, probably 3/8 inch or so. My Japanese pole saw works wonders here. So far, so good. Then I drill a hole down into the faceplate, about 1/4 inch for it to sit. Now, I don't have any Forstner bit exact, so I chisel to perfection, or as close as I can get to it, then glue the circle in place, setting it down into that recess. Some glue and sawdust to help hide any imperfections. As that dries, I move on to the sides. I cut the 2 sides to fit, sticking to my main design of it being a little lopsided. I forgot about these pieces when I was doing the glue up, so I'm going to have to find a scrap to use. And I think this chunk of pallet wood will do fine. Layout complete, I move on to the slats. I cut mine at 16 inches, figuring that they probably would be, 10, maybe 12 inches. But I think we can get by and cut them in half at 8 inches. Then I sand them down to submission. Really, it's just a quick hit here. Remove any splinters, not worried about the saw marks, and a quick round over on all edges. Then it's back to the faceplate for a little more work. I'm a little worried here as well. I've done this before, the circle plug, let's call it. If I drill a hole through it, 1 1/8 inches in this case, it should look like a huge wooden washer around the opening, adding just that little bit of extra detail to the build. No worries, it worked perfectly. Glue up was easy. Titebond 3 for the sides and some pin nails to hold it as it dries. A couple clamps for pressure. We'll screw the bottom on later with 3 screws, 1 from each side and 1 from the back at the end, so it's easily removable for cleaning. We'll want to drill some holes in the bottom for drainage first, though. We're in the final stretch now. We grab our shingles and light them on fire. Shou Sugi bond, the ancient Japanese technique of setting flame to cedar to make it even more rot resistant. Of course, us YouTubers have totally bastardized the technique, lighting anything and everything on fire, thinking it doubles our profits. This time, I'm actually going to try to do it right, and for the reasons it was intended, to help protect against the elements. I'm going with a deep, dark burn, but only one side and all the edges. Then it's glue up. I start at the bottom and work my way up, just overlapping by look and feel. Some Titebond 3 to the frame and the lower edge of each slat, a couple pin nails, careful to shoot them into the frame, and we work our way slowly up. The idea is simple. Water will shed off the overlap, protecting it from slipping in. The 1.5 inch eave on the front should protect it from getting water in the vent holes. The back will be up against a tree, so we should be covered there. I ended up using the super thin slats I cut at the beginning to help with that tight little curve at the top. And here we are. And I love this. Okay, you knew that from the start, but I really do. I busted out my little wood burning kit from summer camp in Indian Guides. All right, it's not the same one. There is a link in the description. Basically, it's a soldering iron with tips. And I burnt some little flower fonts in to add a little more whimsy in a safe, naturalistic way. A lot of the houses I saw online had doors and windows and looked really cool, but I felt allowed predators perches to hang on, so I went this route to give the front some fun. I have some spinach going bad in my fridge, so I'm thinking of making a greenish tinge of a stain for the front, adding a little color, but in the right way so it blends in with nature and not sticks out for the predators. Look, I hope I inspired you to get out and build something. Grab a partner in crime, same age, older, or younger. Times like these can create memories you'll never forget. As always, thank you for watching and choosing to spend 15 minutes building with me. Please like, comment, and subscribe. It helps the channel so much. Until the next time.